Hello guys, welcome back to a new video and to a new backtesting session. Alright, I don't usually do backtesting sessions during midweek, but you can see that price action is really bad for most traders, at least during this week. You can see that on NQ, for example, 3 days, this is the fourth one, and we are still at the range of the Friday's candle. So you can compare the candles, the sizes of the candles here and the sizes of this week, and also see the high of Friday and the low of Friday. We are currently at the top half of this range. So price is really trading in a tight range, and it's hard to find trades. And honestly, I know some really good traders who face a lot of difficulties and lost money trading this. Alright, so when we are in this situation, you really don't want to engage with price, not with the usual risk at least. And I added EURUSD. I also trade EURUSD, but unfortunately it is pretty much the same. I would say even worse. You can clearly see that we are in a nasty range, and even the trades below the range and above the range are a bit tricky and hard to catch compared to the price action. For example, in this move right here, this move, this is a tight range. You really don't want to engage with price in times like this. Save your bullets. All right, so let's do a quick backtesting session together. All right, and we're gonna use EURUSD for this. And for the people who ask me about bull knocks and sometimes the coupon code is not working or something, so the coupon code that I have, it's either Stranger or Stranger25. It is always up to date. Unfortunately, you can't know the current promotion because they're not active on social media, but all you have to do is to try it and see what it will give you. All right, it's always up to date. Sometimes I have two, Stranger and Stranger25, for example. Sometimes they have two running promotions for accounts of 50k above, and for another promotion for only 25k. All right, so try both and see what comes up to you. And sometimes they have only for this, unfortunately. So the coupon code is only including these right here. Also, sometimes they do 83, 87, 91%. It depends, all right? But what I can tell you is that this firm is legit, and you don't have to worry about getting a payout or not. This firm has been around forever. They're not going to ruin their reputation for a payout or something. They are profitable. They have a profitable model, so you don't have to worry about anything. All right, so let's get into the backtesting session now. So we're gonna try EURUSD for this session. Let's not use NQ this time. And so you can see, for example, the daily. See how the daily is clear on this time right here, clear direction. For example, here we're trading to the upside, pulled back, another expansion, right? This time, or this price action on the daily, it reflects really good on lower time frames. So you will have clean price action, but you can see how the daily is behaving right now on EURUSD. Anyway, let's get into the session, and I'm gonna do my analysis. Once we see a setup, I'm gonna stop and give you the reasons. All right, let's go to the weekly. Price action does look bearish, but we are in a tricky position right now. We need more data. All right, this looks really good. I think I'm gonna go short from here. Stop loss here. Let's do stop loss right here. So first trade of the day, let's see if it's a loser or a winner. But most importantly, let's see how the weekly ends. All right, I don't want to go with having to end a day or to end every day in profit. It doesn't have to be like this, but ending every week in green, that's very manageable and realistic. Anyway, first trade was a winner. I think this was news manipulation or something. Also, the manipulation happened before that, but this was really a good trade. So basically what we have is we were bearish. This was the weekly sweep. The weekly candle couldn't close above this weekly candle, and the order flow was bearish. We can see by the closures below the lows, and price unable to close above the highs, and then multiple times, right? And then we have this break of structure. Price returned back to that zone and that imbalance, another sweep, and then we have a nice move to the downside. Let's go to next day open again. It's really good to do your analysis one more time from the weekly to the daily and lower time frames. Start fresh, see what happens. We've swept previous weekly low, so that can be really nice indication that we want to go to the next weekly high. And we have a nice rejection here. We're gonna see. I'm interested in this imbalance, if we can go and balance it. Not sure of that. We also have this one. I'm probably gonna target this. I need a closure above this high if you want to take it higher. I forgot to add the XY, that's alright. Alright, so we traded above that high. Let's see if we can get an entry. I'm thinking maybe something like this, although I like an entry from here, but I'm not sure price would give me that. It's quite I think I'm gonna wait. I don't want to take that entry, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, price didn't give me that. Even this entry, it wasn't offered. It's alright. This rejection happened here. Maybe we're gonna move to this. No, we reached the target. We need to see what's gonna happen now. I expect a rejection. Alright. Alright, we have a nice manipulation to the downside. Was this news? Yeah, so this was the 8:30 news. We have also a PMI at 10 a.m. That's gonna move the market. Let's see how we're gonna trade above. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the news, to be honest. Let's come back tomorrow. So on EURUSD, I really don't like to scalp. The 1 minute is not that clean, you can see. And in futures, we have a 0.5 pip spread. It's quite big when you're scalping and there isn't enough volatility. So for example, it's going to be something like this. Suppose that you want to enter from here. Half point is going to be here. Half pip here. So that's the spread. It doesn't look that big, but it adds up. All right. Anyway, let's see. What do we have? This looks actually nice, too long. Let's go break even. All right, nice trade. So the reason for this trade, you can actually see that we are bullish overall. This was the target. We came back, swept the low from here. We left imbalances, so a price tends to balance these gaps. And since we are overall bullish, then we have a good chance that we're going to trade to them. And finally, we have the break of structure and the closure above this imbalance right here. All right, we have another news. We're gonna need to wait for this one to pass. 8:45. Overall, on the daily, we are in a range, but we can see how we are favoring the longs. I think we're gonna finally come and balance that imbalance right here. We'll see. We have a couple of lows here. All right. All right, let's come back tomorrow. We traded above. Nice rejection from that imbalance. Are we now ready to trade to the upside? That's the question. Is this low protected? I don't think that price will go to take that low one more time. I don't know. Maybe we can. We also are pulling back from this imbalance. Let's see how price reacts to that. Let's see if it's gonna offer a pullback, maybe to here, and then we can ride the longs maybe. almost. All right, we did take that low. I want to see a violent reaction from here. I don't like this. No, it didn't happen. So this is a trick that you can use. If you don't see a violent reaction from a low, then it's good to not trade it, to take a long from it. You want to see an instant reaction, something like this. Something like this. See? Not like this. All right? This shows that we were trading heavily to the downside. Buyers were trying to long from here, but the momentum, the sellers were too strong from here, defending their sells, and the price couldn't move to the upside. See? And then finally the buyers gave in right here, and price continued to the downside. So there was nothing defending here. There was no resistance here, and price just continue. So let's keep this in balance. We're gonna need it. We did trade to this low, and finally traded to here. So this is why I said this was likely to be protected, meaning if we're long, if we're going to that high, we shouldn't see this low gets violated. And once we did, traded to the downside. So what is this? Oh, non-farm payroll. All right. So daily is a bit weird. We're gonna have to go to next Monday. Let's remove everything and start fresh. So what do we have? We are at a clear range. We are still favoring the longs. We have a couple of sweeps to the downside, right? On the daily, constantly sweeping the lows. On the weekly, we did swept previous weekly low, so this might be the next target. We'll see. Let's see how we're gonna close above this high. If we're gonna sweep this high and reject from it, it's gonna be a really bad week for us, or at least a bad day in terms of price action. Alright, so we traded above it. Alright, not the kind of reaction that you want. Yeah, so we're basically stuck between two highs. Price is unable to close above highs, unable to close below lows. This is a typical range behavior. Let's go to next day open. And this is a really bad date that I chose. I don't usually trade this price action. I like to pick the high probability trades, but whatever, let's continue. Alright, we took a low. We might play bottom of the range play. Let's see if we're gonna trade to the upside. Let's see if we're gonna have a reaction. Maybe you're gonna scalp something to this imbalance, maybe. We did trade and close above this imbalance. Let's see if we're gonna get an entry, maybe from here. Stop loss here, and let's take 1-to-1. Alright, we are in the trades. Let's see. Yeah, we got stuck in a range. If we trade above this, I'm gonna go break even to avoid any sweeps. Yeah, we're going break even right now. Alright, finally a TP. Alright, let's remove everything and let's go to next day open. We're still at the bottom of the range. We are rejecting from that imbalance. Really tough price action, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. The daily, I don't know. We could easily see another move to here. We are rejecting from that imbalance, so let's see what's gonna happen. Oh, we might get a move to the downside, although we are at the bottom of the range, so it's tricky. We are closing here. Let's see. Alright, that's nice. This is a bearish signal. Is this news? I really wish I had the DXY right now. It's gonna be really good confluence to take this trade. Maybe if we close above this. Alright, we did close. Maybe if we're gonna go to here. Let's see, place an order, limit. No, we didn't have that, unfortunately. If I had the DXY confluence, I would have taken this trade right here without the break of structure, and we would have taken a profit, but we have news coming. You can have to wait at 10 a.m. or 10:30. Let's go to the 1 hour. Alright, let's jump to next day open. We are still at this range. Alright, I'm gonna have to end this video right here. I don't want to continue trading this. I don't usually trade this, but the trades that I took, those are definitely part of my plan. Alright. But you can see that I started this from the 1st May, 11 days, and we were able to find only 3 trades in this kind of price action. That's predictable. Alright, if we are something like this, I would find more trades, but it is what it is. So I ran away from this price action just to find this in the backtesting session, but this really will teach you and what to expect in this kind of price actions, that your setup will not present itself every day. So you need to be prepared to not take trades every day and to not chase trades or setups. You need to find those 3 or 2 that price gonna offer to you in the span of 10 days or so. Alright, so I hope you like this video. If you have any other questions, you can always DM me in my Twitter account or leave a comment down below, and I'll answer you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.